Good evening from Northeast Missouri. This is Randy Curvin, and this is Rant and Randy's Rant for a Monday. All right. I'm by myself on this for right now, but that's just fine. I will throw this in at the very beginning. I appreciate that Nancy Halverson donated through PayPal, which is paypal.me/Randall with a capital R and Curvin run together with a capital C. I know that there are some that haven't kept up with that address, and since I can't get on Facebook, you can't get a hold of me anymore. And that truly bothers me a lot, too. I miss all my brothers and sisters out there on Facebook. But at the present time, I'm not making any progress on getting back on, but I'm working on it. And that work is probably going to take some money. The car is in poor shape. We can make it about 3 blocks away, which we're going to do right after this to get a few things that are necessary for tonight. Well, let's get to the news. What a horrific thing going in Bukra. Hello, Nancy, in Ukraine. The bodies laying everywhere, and then Putin to react by the whole thing saying that it was a setup. Give me a fucking break. Setup. And he reminds me of another liar. That's why you can't have somebody as president of the United States that told 30,000 lies. And he would like to be a Putin. He still can't say a bad word about Putin. Shit. Let's get to a little good news. March jobs reported 431,000 new jobs. The unemployment rate is at a 52-year low. We'll skip part of what I was going to say. Beyond that, it wouldn't help either side, so I'm just eliminating that. That's another thing is the visceral between both sides. I saw what Cory Booker said today, and I was impressed. In Ukraine, the Russians are withdrawing from the north of Kyiv in the town of Bukra, street strewn with bodies of civilians, some with their hands tied behind their backs. Some had been tortured before they were killed. And President Zelensky, I agree with him, it's genocide. He's trying to wipe out the Ukrainian people. All right. And this is the question for both. How is this any different than Hitler in Europe in World War II? I don't see any difference at all. This man is a madman, just like Hitler was, and nothing is going to stop him. And here's another question. Why is Donnie so quiet the past few days? Huh? Odd, isn't it? And it looks like the problem in Russia with his army and his advisors, those close to him, are afraid to tell him anything. So what they do is they just lie to him. They are afraid of him. Reminds me of a former here in the United States. Putin plays a lot rougher, ladies and gentlemen. Inflation, of course, that's Biden's fault. They failed to tell the American people, the Republicans do, it's worldwide. So Biden caused inflation worldwide. Give me a break. High gas prices, etc. It doesn't matter what it is. It's all Biden's fault. And now, I think we discussed this at the meeting last night. It's not just Fox and OAN and Newsmax. CNN, NBC, CBS, and MSNBC are all joining in on their negativeness against the President of the United States. And why is that? It's the money, baby. And I'm sick of it. We have a very divided nation. And do we, as a nation, have it in us to get serious about the midterm? That was my point on this. If we don't get out the vote, we have to get people to register. We have to, and vote in those midterms. If we don't get out there, we lose democracies, brothers and sisters. Organize and protest voting rights, Citizens United, right to work states. I live in one. I have a right to work for less money. And that's not only for less money, but less benefits go along with that, having a right to work. And Republicans know how to rile up their base. That's something we need to learn to do. We need to learn to rile up the Democratic base. And on the sideline, isn't going to get it. We have to pull over help from the other side, point out the truth to every lie told by the right. We have the sorry congressman here, Sam Graves in Missouri. And also our sorry senators, Blunt and Hawley, still out there trying to undermine Biden and the Democrats. And Gretchen is going to run for Roy Blunt's seat. And he left the governorship in scandal, blackmailing his wife. Why is it the Republicans always pick the stinkiest people to put out there, the crooks and whatever, thieves? You would think that would appall people, but no. And the Donald is embracing Putin again, asking for dirt on Hunter Biden. One thing you can count on from the former, he never learns a lesson, ladies and gentlemen. The GOP is largely silent about Trump and Putin. No wonder. Does anyone want to be tied or have ties with Putin? Donnie does. You can't make this shit up. And like I said, my Republican friends, listen, Donnie is yet to say a bad thing about Putin. Why? Because because Putin is able to rule in Russia, and that's the way Donald Trump would like to rule here. Total power. He wasn't joking when he said he would like to see crowds like in North Korea and how they praised their dictator. He'd like that happening here in the United States. Good hope on is that there's about 12 Republicans that or let's put it this way. I don't know the number of how many are retiring, but they're tired of the bullshit or being the Trumpian party. Uh, and 12 GOP running for office have decided they're not sticking with Donnie. They're going against him. And they will get primaried, but I don't think Donnie has all that much sway anymore. He stepped in doo doo too many damn times, and they're starting to notice it. He can't keep his mouth shut for nothing. And that's where we come in. Seats are going to be open, and we need to take those seats. We have to retain the majority, both houses of Congress, baby. A little optimism in a very divided country. Am I very sorry Senator Blunt used the same talking point over and over, spending, and never mentioned that their president increased the deficit with the tax cuts to the corporations and the wealthy. Hey, wait a minute. That doesn't count because that's under a Republican president. You can't make this shit up. I shit you not. Uh, and it's because they want the rich, because that's the big donors, that's the people stuffing their pockets full of money. Uh, and the problem they have now is their base is dying out. Old white men, old conservative white men. Okay, is that? What do you know? It is. I got the right page. Uh, and part of their thing is freedom is from getting vaccinated, ladies and gentlemen, and also uh, they more Republicans, and I heard fairly good reporting. I think it was on Fair and Balanced. More Republicans died of COVID than Democrats. And that's why the polls were off, because they based that on uh, the 2020. There's a whole lot of people dead that were in that census. And that's where the polling is off. And that's why I don't pay any attention to it. Uh, and the last thing I'll cover this evening, Roman uh, Abramovich is a Russian oligarch who hasn't been sanctioned, but he is a negotiator in the peace talks. He had symptoms of being poisoned. My Republican friends, this is what Putin does. And Donald Trump won't say anything negative about him. Please let that sink in. We're talking about a war criminal, and Donald can't say a bad word about him. Think about it. Your party needs to rid itself of Trump. If you don't, you are likely to find out that you're backing a dictator. Now, I don't think it would bother a lot of the GOP, would rather have a dictator. But I don't think the average Republican is in for that yet, to have a dictator. And it doesn't have to be Donald Trump. It's whoever they can have with autocratic ideas, like, suppress the vote, imprison your opponent in an election, little shit like that. All right, that's about all I got. And thank you, Martha. And hello, Sue. All right. All right, sisters. I really appreciate everybody showing up. And I hope we don't have to come just from YouTube for a whole lot of time, but that's part of it. This is fortunately the company that I think was a part of getting me locked out of Facebook didn't call me back today. Instead, some of the fake United Healthcare numbers were calling. And I've gotten to where I pick up the phone and I say, hey, what's your problem? Cat got your tongue? I know you're a bunch of scam artists. And then you hear where they hang the phone up. Oh, got to have my fun, baby. All right, I'll let y'all go with go down and like, go down and share. If you're new out there, you like the progressive and the blue dot ideas of we've got to cause that blue wave so that we can keep our democracy. That's what this whole show is about. So peace, resist, persist, and I insist, push uh, truth over lies. Truth will win out in the end. All right, I'll let y'all go. Have a great evening. And I tell y'all, I really miss all of you too. And it makes me anxious at night. You know, I'm gonna keep it what I do. But I miss being able to post music. I miss being able to post what a lot of the Blue Dot family gives me to get out there because I think it's important. And I miss you all, and hopefully soon I can figure out a way or find a place here. That's another thing. A place I talked to today is far enough away that with that car with the front wheel all messed up, I'm a little hesitant about driving down there. So I may have to get a cab to go down there. They said they could work on it. So it's only about 2 or 3 miles down there, but I would feel safer if I did not go in our vehicle. I'm only using that when I have to, and we're talking 2, 3 blocks and then get back here. All right. Have a good one. I'll see y'all later on. Please leave some after comments. I appreciate that. And always, quite a few of you that are in the room. And let me say hello to everybody. All right. There's Carol Gillens and Sue Carswell, Martha Smart, uh, Nancy Halverson. All right. Well, thank you, sisters, for being here. And I'll see you later on this evening. Bye bye for now. Share this shit. Please share this shit.